right at 15 minutes. I gotta say, you nailed 15 minutes perfectly. And but what I do want to do is thank you for that. And you can get in touch with the renewable team out in their office if interested. So back to the flip flop. What we're going to do is we're going to go to EMPEQ now. EMPEQ, you are available. You can just take the screen share at the bottom and continue.
Okay, this is Derek LeClaire. Herbert is having continued technical difficulties. He was in and now he's out. So, you know, just for the sake of everyone's time, I'm gonna kind of jump in here. Please excuse me. I'm rusty and haven't done a pitch in a while, and I certainly wasn't prepared to pitch today. But here, such is.
You're amongst friends. So.
All right, great. So as I said, Derek LeClaire, co-founder, CFO of EMPEQ. We built a sales and financing platform that makes that cuts down the most painful parts of the HVAC sales process by up to 80%. So I want to start off today by talking about Paul. Paul is the Vice President of Sales at a large HVAC contractor, or ESCO. And one of the most painful parts of Paul's job is to do his site survey. What is a site survey? Well, picture somebody that's coming to, or if you own a supermarket and you want to replace your cooling system, the contractor has to come and actually look at the equipment that's already there, and that contractor has to make notes, and a lot of times you know, it's a pretty onerous process, and it actually takes up to, we've heard it going as long as 2 weeks to do one of these surveys on big buildings. And that's because it's a really disjointed process. The reality is even the biggest companies in the marketplace are still using pad and paper, as well as their smartphone to take pictures. Then they bring those notes back to the office and they try to figure out which notes go to which pictures. Then they have to send it along to an estimator who actually tells them how much to charge for the job that they're wanting to quote. And then they'll generate that proposal, usually in Microsoft Word. And then after all of that work, they hand over a proposal to the customer, who over half the time is now going to go get financing for that project. And then they have to sit back and cross their fingers that they actually close the deal, because everything's out of their hands. And as you can see, this is a really manual, disjointed process. And that's why we came up with the visibility platform, which is very simple, uses OCR and machine learning technology to allow the people like Paul to just take a picture of the equipment. It automatically will create a proposal that includes financing options right on the proposal itself. And because everything is done in real time in the cloud, that step with the estimator having to take the notes and the pictures and then write up what it was actually supposed to cost, that can actually be done while Paul is on site. So what this means is anywhere from 5 day to 20-day process to actually get a proposal into a customer's hand can now actually happen in as little time as the same day. The product itself, as I said a moment ago, is based on optical character recognition and machine learning. Everything is done in the cloud, and because of the fact that we also partner with over a dozen different financing options, there are several options on every proposal created with our product. So customer has several different options, and it's much like in retail with if you go to Best Buy or something along those lines and you're going to buy a washer dryer, where it might say this washer dryer is $1,000 or $69 a month. It's the exact same situation here. It will say $40,000 or, you know, $175 a month. And customer can click on that, and then that starts our process. So the business model is really twofold. We make money in two ways, I should say. We make money off origination fees. So we're really acting as a financing broker. We're not a bank, but we partner with 14 banks. So they will actually pay us 2 to 6% of the total loan amount. So if it's a $100,000 loan, generally we will take in between $2,000 and $6,000 in revenues. We also make money off SaaS. That is a smaller part of our business, but there is value being created for the contractors. So as you can see in our long-term projections, the lion's share of our revenues will be coming from the financing business, but the product that we showed really is kind of a Trojan horse to get this financing and making sure that it's offered every single time. Our market size is quite large. The equipment financing market is massive. There's over $1 trillion in commercial equipment financed every year. These figures you see here are opportunities for SaaS and for origination fees. Our service obtainable market, which is really based on our current pipeline, is already at $408. And our primary way of getting to customers is through direct sales. Our Director of Business Development, Dara O'Neill, is actually on the call today. And obviously, everybody on our team is a salesperson in some way, shape, or form. Traction. So we launched our financing module, Finance Alone, back in Q4 of last year. We then, as this year started, we acquired in a non-cash transaction a small brokerage that created all those relationships with banks. We immediately started to take on origination fees. To date, we've originated about $500,000 in financing, in HVAC financing, equipment financing, and have netted around $25,000 in origination fees. Our product went live about 3 weeks ago on iOS in the Apple App Store, and we signed our first paying user, I should say. We had 17 or 16 beta testers prior to that, but we signed McKinstry, which is the 5th largest ESCO in the United States, to a year-long contract. They will be paying us $1,000 a month. So obviously we're giving a bit of a discount, but the reason why we slashed the price so low is they guaranteed to us that our financing widget, the option for financing, will be available or will be made available to every customer that they propose projects to, and they do about $500 million of deal flow a year. So for us, that's just a massive opportunity, really for years to come. And we are supported by a number of organizations that you can see below, of course, including Launch New York. The competitive landscape is relatively, there's the biggest entries in the market are not doing exactly what we're doing. We're focused more so on the sales side, and obviously we have this finance piece as well. Most of the large competitors like Service Titan and Field Edge, they're really focused on the post transaction. So, what you might say is like rolling trucks for maintenance and coordinating that sort of stuff. That's where they're focused. Our most direct competitor is North Boundary. If you ever went to their website, you would think that it was built in the year 2000 because it probably was. They are not exactly technologically advanced. They don't have OCR. They don't have machine learning components. What they do have is a product that costs $5,000 to sign up and $1,500 a year, whereas ours is month to month at $29 to $99 a month. Our management team, folks you see here, we have over 150 years of experience in our industry. We, especially Herbert, myself, and Dara have lived this problem in real life. All of us had come out of the contracting industry prior to this. Financial projections. So as I noted a moment ago, we are in a situation that we will make money in 2 major ways, and the lion's share will be coming from origination fees. However, there's quite a large business on both sides. The nice thing about this business is that the financing brokerage, the commercial equipment financing brokerage business, is a relatively lucrative one and will allow for us to reach profitability probably faster than most other startups. We do expect to reach profitability only after about 2 years in this business model. Currently, we're raising $600,000. We've already either raised and spent, or raised, or whatever the case might be, about $315,000. We actually just got another commitment from Launch New York on Friday, for another $40,000, which is contingent on us closing the round. So, of course, anybody that could be interested in joining Launch by hopping back in, we're all ears, and our goals are to get to 15 million in originations and get to 200 active users. So I hope I passed. That was a pop quiz, and with that, I will, I guess, open it to questions if there's time.
Yes, we do have time for questions. If anybody wants to jump in, go right ahead.
All right, this is Tom Plum. Hi, Derek. Last time I met with you guys, you were also offering heating as a service for upgrades. Are you completely out of that business, and you've now pivoted to a sales tool and essentially brokering financing on behalf of a variety of banks?
Yeah, thanks, Tom. Good question. So the answer is sort of yes and no, because we're still offering the product, and we are working with, and that's heating as a service, energy as a service. We're still offering the product, but we are moving the ownership risk away from the company. So that was one of the things we wanted to do with this pivot, or with this new business expansion, or whatever you want to call it. We wanted to take away the risk of actually having to collect on loans. And so that's, so I guess, like I said, we're still offering the product, but we're not holding that, that credit risk anymore.
And you mentioned an app is that something I could go on and download now and see what your app is like?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, Ron, do you want to speak about that just real quickly if you're available?
Sure. Basically, the app it's kind of invitation only right now, but we're getting ready to launch it to the App Store early next week, the public Apple App Store. We're going to be starting with the first phase release will be iPhone, and then several weeks after that, we'll be rolling out the Android app. But yeah, in the meantime, you can contact us and we can set you up with a beta account, and basically let you take a look at that, give you some user credentials under trial, and let you kind of access it and take a look at it.
And maybe what range of energy efficiency projects do you foresee doing with this app?
As far as types of projects, or size of projects?
Or, I mean, are you doing as wide as, I heard about heating systems, but do you do filters, solar projects, certain other things? How?
I would say at this point we're open to anything that's not renewable, and that's mostly just around the investment tax credit situation. We're not quite set up for that, but pretty much any other type of building equipment we have interest in. We have lighting projects, we have HVAC projects. They're all fair game. I think the pain for the SaaS is the most acute in the mechanical contracting industry, the HVAC industry. So that's why we're focused there.
Other questions?
Okay. Well, if there's no other questions, or if you're too shy to ask in front of the group here, feel free to come see us at our booth. We'll be around till 6.
Okay, thank you. So